Spiritually fit so that you can always find it in yourself, to go deep. Mentally fit so that you're listening to blend. Greetings from God knows where. You're listening to Lázougi live here on your number one electronic music station in God knows where. This is Blend episode 23. You're tuned in and listening to Blend right this very hour, right here in God knows where. Welcome you to another episode of Blend. I'm happy, quite happy to be here. It's another week of us coming together to talk, to do what we do, to do what we love. Right here on Blend, right here on your number one election in the morning, and conversation, topics of discussion, as well as keep our ears filled with the wonderful sonic vibes that I've got right here on our playlist, on my playlist. A wonderful episode. So I'm going to be your host. Okay, I'm going to be your host for the next 1 hour as we have some fun. Okay, as we have some fun. How are you doing this wonderful day? I hope you're doing quite well. I hope you're fine. My name is Lázougi. Yeah, that's my name. I hope you've had a wonderful 1 week since the last time we came together to talk. Talk to me, okay? What have you been up to? What have you been doing this past couple of days? Have you been experiencing any mild improvements in the current situation over where you over there? That is where you are currently. How are things turning out over where you are? Okay, over there where you are. That sounds like that's like a tricky rhyme. Over there where you are. Yeah. So what's up? Talk to us via the live chat box right here on your YouTube application. And if you're listening via our archives, all you simply have to do to share and to weigh in into our conversation today, to share your opinions, to share your ideas and your experiences with us. All you say at the archives is to head down to the comment section right now and share some love over there, okay, Gordon? year, I decided to move the time forward a little bit to see if I can get a chance at having better network performance at this time rather than earlier, which due to past experience, I've discovered that episode was broken into two halves, okay? And even at that, a lot of the content, a lot of the things we talked about weren't into flexible amount. I'm looking forward to on this mix.
You're listening to your number one.
It's called feel that way, or why do I have that idea at the back of my head that because they do that over here. Oh, sometimes subtle, sometimes um, open and direct in their conditioning or in their rebuke. That's what we experience as as adults or as young adults, especially in this present time and age, as regards fat shaming, man shaming, and all of those, for lack of a better word, evolved a lot of ridiculing. Okay, you can call it shaming as well. Just this. Okay. Is it that loud? I don't think so. I'm sure you can hear me, but just to be safe, maybe there's this. Um, the other day I was something with with my fingers. I had to steer it and turn it with my fingers. So I was using my right hand actually. I was using. What is wrong with this software? Okay, while it sorts itself out and gets its shit together, we're just gonna wait for it to do just that. So as I was saying, yeah. So I was mixing something with my right. When you like mix when you like mix flour and butter and other stuff, baking powder, you have to like turn it. I'm not saying you should use your hand in that situation. Okay, so wait. I was mixing something. Music software. I don't know what is wrong with this applications or softwares or whatever today. I really don't know. Okay, a lot of the stuff that I'm supposed to be using are freezing up badly, and it's just embarrassing, honestly. I'm embarrassed. You're putting me on the spot, okay? It's too want to feel this way and pressing these keys at the same time. So I was making. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, the monster is starting to reawakening, starting to reawaken. So I have to really confirm if you can really hear me. No. Something tells me my voice isn't that loud as I want it to be. Nice. So as I was saying, I was mixing something and I was stirring honey with my finger. Okay. At the same time, I had something on fire. I was, warming something, and I was about to eat, so I had this pot of food on fire. And all of a sudden, I remembered, but I was unable to wash off the honey off my fingers in time. If I got to the kitchen, I didn't want the food to, get burnt and ruin it. So before I was able to wash the stuff, like wash the honey off my right hand, the food was already, it was already showing signs of like of burning, and I had to do something about it. So instead of using my right hand to pick up the spoon, I instead used my left. Thinking the way it was as if that was my way of doing it, or that had always been my way of doing things, that it just came naturally to me. Amongst other things that I do as well, that just comes naturally to me, that is using my left hand to do those stuff just comes naturally to me. And it got me thinking, was I a child that used to his left hand until, due to our prejudices over here, due to our beliefs over here, I had to be conditioned to use my right hand? And you may wonder, what prejudices, his own natural handedness, again, for lack of a better word, what beliefs would motivate an entire community or an entire society to kick against using their left hand, and what persevered over and over. At this point, it has become not just an act but a custom. Okay, what backs such a such a custom and makes it a part of society? What logic or what reasoning is? I grew up knowing that using your right hand, actually using your left hand, which for some people is their natural handedness. For example, famous people. I'm not quite sure, but I think Barack Obama is left-handed. I think one other person would be Justin. There is a and using your left hand to using your left hand to do stuff like to write, to do your everyday normal stuff is generally frowned upon, because while you use your left hand to do other stuff like write, pick up stuff, open doors, just your everyday stuff, while you do that, you're most likely to also use that left hand in giving your elderly ones stuff. Like when you want to give them stuff, you want to give them, maybe they send you on an errand and you go back, most likely to want to use your left hand because that is what you're used to, and that is seen as a sign of disrespect. Yeah, that's it. That is seen as a sign of disrespect. Way over here. Why is you giving stuff with your left hand to your elderly ones a sign of disrespect? Can anybody tell me why? Okay, and I'm sure amongst you listening that there are some of you who are quite familiar with this custom, with this culture, with this way and practice of doing things. And some of you also you were giving birth to. And some of you might have big memories of being a birth and nobody standing up for them. Surely there are consequences for doing that, perhaps psychologically, or perhaps yes, having to tell a child who is a natural at doing something, or to put it in a better way, having to tell a child who uses his or her left hand naturally that what he or she is doing isn't good for society and reflects badly on the upbringing of the child. Yes, it does reflect badly on the parents because society expects the parents or makes the assumption that the parents should expect to Or if you don't think such custom is absurd and there's a valid reasoning behind it, I'd like for you to share with us. Okay, I want you to be part of our more than it is absurd. This break, when we come back from this music break, we'll talk some more and see how we can get to the bottom of that. Welcome back from that music. Okay, and while we were on that music break, I the title of the topic of our conversation. Do you say the title of the topic of our conversation? Or do you say the topic of our conversation? Okay, whichever way. The topic is left behind. Yeah, let me just put it that way, because it reminds me of a childhood novel. If you know the novel I'm talking about, we have something in common. Yeah, so that's the topic of our conversation. I did say we're going to move forward and talk about, or should I say, go deeper into the topic, and I'm going to paint a picture of how a child who is naturally predisposed to using his or her left hand is conditioned to, or reconditioned to, using the right hand, that is using your left hand to give stuff to your elders, is a sign of disrespect. And from my observation, children don't naturally do that. They don't naturally just use their left hand to, or should I say, intentionally do that as a sign of disrespect. They don't just use their left hand to give you stuff with the intention of disrespecting you. The intent of disrespect isn't in them when they use their left hand to do stuff or to give you stuff. They're just naturally predisposed to that. is achieved through rebuke, shaming. As far back as I can remember, I wasn't given any any logical reason as to why I shouldn't use my left hand, except that it is disrespectful. I wasn't given any logical reasoning, except that it was just disrespectful. And even kids who were more lefty than maybe I was, because maybe I was, okay. Kids that were even more lefty, I observed that they weren't given any reasoning at all. They were just rebuked, punished, beaten in some cases. Like, they were just rebuked and punished and beaten in some cases. So whenever this child makes an attempt to use his or her natural disposition, society tells this child, no, no, use your right hand, without even giving a child any logical reasoning. Use your right hand because we said so, because we agreed that it is disrespectful to us. Shouldn't do. Is this a valid in some of our ways? Some of the things that we do. It just goes to show the reasoning. Show the reasoning. It shows that there's no reasoning at all behind some of the things that we do. And culture, in its simplest definitions, is the way we do things over a long period of time, or the way a group of people do things over a very long period of time. Perhaps this child was destined to be a painter, but when you force him or her to use the right hand, even if the child learns to draw with the right hand, it won't flow naturally. It's like asking Messi to use his right leg, because kicking the football with his left leg is disrespectful to elders like Mao. No, imagine if that is a global thing. Just take a moment to imagine if such practice or such custom becomes globalized. Social issues. That break down what am I saying? Okay, we come to analyze and break down the social conventions that govern the way our society works in order for us to have a better understanding of our society and have the means to navigate it better. Okay, so what we do brothers on social analysis in order for us to be able to have a better understanding of our society. Is this working? Is this working? My voice is not as loud as I want it to be. Let me fix this. Annoying. It's annoying. Okay. It's not something I would expect to be happening at a time like this. It's 3:25 a.m. I'd expect that the network would be at peak performance at this time, but that's just the situation one finds himself in. Okay, how to make do with what we have and try to make the best out of it. I want to say thank you for tuning in and listening to Blend Here, your number one electronic, and be thoughtful about. Okay, be thoughtful. Something to be thoughtful about because the truth about the truth about our society is many of the customs, many of our ways of doing things, many of our customs that has been passed on from are founded on faulty foundations, and we have to ask questions if we want to be able to move forward past many of these customs that seem to be holding us back. Not seem, are holding us back. Okay, if we want to be able to move forward from them, we first have to start by asking questions of what use, what are the origins, what are the benefits. Questions like this reveal to us the essence and the importance and the logic behind. Thank you for listening and thank you for being part of this family. All you simply have to do if you want to be part of our family is to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell beside it so that you get our notifications when the station goes live for broadcast. Okay, so do that and I'll really appreciate you doing that right away. Thank you. I'll leave you with this song myself, and I'm thinking if there's anything I have not said, if there's anything left unsaid that I have to say. Okay, I think I've covered it all. So my hope is that this episode stays intact and that you are able to get the gist and the whole package of this episode of Blend. I do hope that it stays intact, and I'll be here next week for Blend.